Hey everybody, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Today we're going to do some beer can bacon cheeseburgers, jalapeno popper style. So that sounds like a mouthful. I think it will be. So we're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. So come inside with me and let's get stuff ready. Oh, by the way, we're going to do these on the PK 360 grill. I think this will be a really good cooker for this. So let's get started. So the bacon is going, and we're going to get our jalapeno ready. So I'm just going to cut the end off here. I've got a plate over here just to put in fact, I'm going to use it now. I'm going to use a jalapeno core just to take that inside out. I'm left-handed, so they sort of make these right-handed in my opinion, but we'll make it work. Now, if you want them extra spicy, feel free to leave the ribs and the seeds in. We have several different tastes participating in this meal, so I'm going to make them a little more on the mild side and take the ribs and seeds out. And I am using gloves because I will inevitably touch my eyes or lips or something, and I want to avoid. Okay, that's pretty good. And then I'm just going to give this a dice first. Going to split it down the middle. Obviously got a few more seeds in there, which is not a big deal, but they're easy to get out at this point. Okay. So we're just going to cut little strips here. And then from there, we'll dice it up. And I just inhaled this jalapeno, and it's trying to make me cough. So maybe it is kind of spicy. Whew. So there we go. And just do this last part here. Got the bacon going in the background, and that's almost done. So I'm going to grab that bacon, and that's home smoked bacon, by the way, that we'll use in this. So I'm going to get that diced up a little finer than it is, and then we'll be ready to put our poppers together. I'm losing my words. So I will bring you back in just a minute. Okay, so we're going to put our popper mixture together. First thing I have is a block of softened cream cheese. So I'll just put that in. And now we have our bacon. Still a little warm, which will help mix this together, I think. And then our jalapenos. There we go. Get that last pepper. All right. So now I'm just going to get this mixed together. I've got a fork. I thought that would be easiest. And this block of cream cheese had been sitting out for a little bit, but it's not quite soft enough. So you definitely want to leave it out. Give it enough time to soften up. We'll get it done, but had I realized this, I probably would have put it in the microwave for 10 or 15 seconds, but not a big deal at all. And that was a really big jalapeno. If they would have been smaller, I would have probably used two. I happen to find these elephant style jalapenos All right, so this is coming together. I wanted to use this bowl so you could sort of see what was going on inside of it, but it's a little small to do this without sending stuff over the sides, but we'll make it work. And then the last thing I'm going to do is add a little spice. And I'm going to use the gospel from Meat Church. So I hope you can see that in the camera. It's a good all-purpose barbecue rub. Oops, open the wrong side. And we're going to season the burgers too. So I'm not going to overload this, but I just want to add a little bit of color, a little bit of flavor. So just give it a sprinkle and then go ahead and mix that in. All right, so we're going to call this good. So this is probably 2 or 3 hours before I'm putting the burgers together, or at least a couple, maybe about 2. So this will go in the fridge and it'll give time for the flavors to come together, and then we'll use it when we get our burgers ready. Interesting. We don't often have somebody ring the doorbell, but it sounds like we do. All right, so we'll bring you back for the next steps here soon. Okay, so we're going to get our burgers put together. I've got just a store-bought burger patty just from the local grocery store. I have pressed it out just a little bit to just make it a little bigger and thinner, I guess. So I've got some all-purpose seasoning, salt, pepper, garlic that I'm going to add to each side of the burger patty. I'm not going to overdo it. There's going to be a lot of flavors going into this. I've already got some barbecue rub in the cream cheese mixture that you've seen. And now we're going to use our beer can. This beer can has been thoroughly washed. It's also been oiled up just like my cutting board with some canola oil just to help with any kind of sticking. And all you want to do is mold the burger around it. It'll take just a little doing, but it'll come together. You want to watch for cracks and just shape the burger patty around the can. There we go. And now we've got some bacon off to the side here. And this is normal cut bacon, not thick cut. You don't want to use thick cut on this because it won't cook and render out all the way by the time everything else is done and ready to go. So you definitely just want to use the normal cut bacon. And now we'll get the can pulled out. And there we go. So I've got my cream cheese mixture off to the side here that we made earlier. And I'm just going to get some of that into my gloved hands here. And we'll drop that down in the burger. And there we go. So I have got now 5 more of these to do. We're doing 6 burgers total. I'm just going to use a spatula. Ease it under there and get this out of the way to a cookie sheet that I've got some parchment paper on. Once I get all of these done, they're going to go in the refrigerator and just let them set up and come together. It is time to start the charcoal in the PK360. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So I've just got a chimney, a couple of tumbleweeds underneath. There we go. Tumbleweeds in the chimney work great. All right, so a little bit about how we're gonna set this cook up. I have got a charcoal basket here that I'm going to put in right where that chimney is sitting when the coals are ready. And then I'm gonna dump the coals into that containment basket. I have a metal cooking rack here that I'm going to put our jalapeno popper beer can bacon burgers on. And I've got a drip pan underneath that just to catch the grease from the bacon in particular. And I have already measured and made sure that I can close the lid with that rack in there. It's just a cleaner rack, and since I don't have a fire right under the grill grate there, it's not quite as easy to clean, so I'm going to use that rack. I've got the left vent on the PK360 totally closed. I've got the right vent totally open. And then I have got the left exit valve, for lack of a better word. I'm losing my words here. Wide open, and then I've got the right one closed. So the airflow will come in the underside on the right, up through the charcoal, and then carry out through the vent on the left. So that's sort of the way I'm setting this up. Sorry for the lengthy explanation, but we're gonna let these coals ash over, and then we're gonna dump them. So we'll bring you back when they do that. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and get the burgers that are all ready to go out of the refrigerator so they can start coming up in temperature a little bit. Why anyone would spend any money on lighter fluid is beyond me, unless I guess you had to light, you know, an entire bed of coals to roast a hog on or something, maybe, I guess. I don't know. Chimney starters are the best. So we're pretty close here to dumping our coals. So give me another 5 minutes, let these ash over on the top, and then we'll get that done. Bring you back. The burgers are out of the fridge, coming up in temperature a little bit, and we'll be getting started. All right, I'm getting some gloves on. We're gonna get these coals dumped. This chimney actually has a trapdoor in it. I really like it for most things. I'm not gonna use that today though, because I really wanna try to direct these coals into the basket. And I have a feeling it's gonna be tough to get them all in there, but we're gonna do our best. I think one thing I might do actually is move that out of the way, get that in, and now we'll see how we do. Go. All right, I actually think I will leave the other side of that grate off. And there we go. So I'm gonna get some tongs to clean up those coals just a little bit, the ones that didn't make it in the bin, and we'll bring you back in just a minute. Okay, it's time to put our jalapeno popper inspired beer can bacon burgers on the grill. So grill is getting up near and over 300, and that's with the thermometer on the opposite side of the fire. So I'm feeling pretty good about the temperature. So the one concern I had, and I think we're gonna be okay, is actually fitting these on. Okay, so for some reason the video cut off as I was putting these on, and I didn't notice until I was done. So I'm just gonna give you a quick peek under the hood here. There's our 6 beer can bacon burgers with the jalapeno popper stuffing. And so I'm gonna get this lid closed, but that's what they're looking like, and we'll be back in, I'm guessing 15 minutes, something like that. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and drink one of these Mick Ultras, like the one I used to build the burgers. Okay, so these have been on so far for one Michelob Ultra, about 12 minutes. So let's take a look. And I think I'm gonna turn this rack exactly the opposite of the way it is now. This is another reason I wanted to use the rack, is just because I know some of this is closer to the fire, or the half of this is a lot closer to the fire. So these are coming along and looking really good, by the way. So let's just spin this around. There we go. All right. So we're gonna get this lid closed and probably come back in another Michelob Ultra. See you in a few. All right, we haven't been quite another Michelob yet, but I have one more thing to add to these, and these are looking outstanding. I've got some fresh grated cheddar cheese that I'm gonna add to each one of these. This is not the pre-grated stuff. Of course, you can use that. I just, for certain things, I really like to grade my own. It's just so much better. That pre-grated stuff has like potato starch and everything to keep it from clumping together. So if you can grade your own cheese for certain things, you will definitely appreciate the difference. So I think that's going to be good. So we're going to let these continue. They're pretty close, really, but we'll bring you back here in probably another, I don't know, 10 minutes, and I think they'll probably be done. Okay, so we're about 35 minutes in, something like that, and I am thinking these things are going to be done. So let's take a look, and we will probably pull them, but we'll see. Oh, wow. Those look really good. Yeah, I'm gonna call these are done. So we're gonna get them. Matter of fact, I may just put them on the cookie sheet with the rack. That might just be the easiest and safest thing to do. So I'm gonna close this for 1 second and we will meet you inside. I'll get the camera set up and we'll see you inside for the taste. Okay, so I've got the rest of the family already in, getting ready to eat their jalapeno popper inspired beer can bacon burger. And I'm gonna do the same here. So I think what I wanna do, doesn't that look really good? I hope it tastes as good as it looks. I think it will. So I am going to cut this in half so we can look at the inside. Steam coming out of it. Can you see that? Holy cow, we got a smoke ring too around the burger. A little bit of work, but not too much, and this looks great. I'm just gonna try here. I'm not gonna move the camera. It's Father's Day. Got my son who doesn't live here with us. So I wanna get in there with the fam. So let's give this a try. Man, that looks freaking good. Huh. Huh. Thank you, sir. May I have another? That is so freaking good. Thank you for the inspiration, BBQ Pit Boys. This could be my first viral video. You got to do this. Really good. Do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.